Hello, welcome to the Glasgow Buddhist Centre live stream for beginner meditations. My name's Jeanette. I'm part of a team that are here doing the beginner meditations on a Tuesday and a Thursday at 12:30. So we're going to get going in just a couple of minutes. Just allow a couple of minutes for people to arrive, to come in. I see that there's a couple of people waiting to come in. So when you do arrive, if you'd like to, please pop your name in the chat box to the right hand side of the screen. Maybe say hello, just say who you are, maybe just say a little bit about, I don't know, where you're from, what's the weather like. So as you may or may not gather, if you've not been to the Glasgow Buddhist Centre before, you probably won't realise that I'm not there. So we're live streaming from our homes at the moment. I'm here in Kilsyth, and which is in North Lanarkshire, but the Glasgow Buddhist Centre is my place of practice. So I'm just noticing that on the chat box, my friend Kuladharni, who's also on the team, she was doing the live stream on Tuesday. Hello, Kuladharni. She's here as well, and she said the sound and vision's good. So that's always good. That's always good to know. I can relax a little bit now. So I keep an eye on the time. Keep an eye on the time so that we can get going. We get going around about 12:30, and we're offering the live meditations. We started offering the live meditations because we couldn't open due to the lockdown conditions. But what we're finding is that it's given a lot of access to a lot of people that maybe couldn't manage to come to the Glasgow Buddhist Centre before, and we're seeing like hundreds more people that are viewing the videos who we couldn't normally accommodate in our shrine rooms. Be lovely at some stage, relatively soon, to get back into the building, but until then, it's lovely that you're here, or it's lovely that you're going to be watching this later too. So whichever way, whether you're here or whether you are watching later on, really warm welcome to the Glasgow Buddhist Centre live streams for beginner meditation. So it's around about 12:30 I make it, so we'll kind of get going, and I'll just say maybe just a little bit more about that. So if you've not been before, or you're watching this video and you haven't watched any other ones before, I'll just say that we do two classic meditations in the videos. So we do the mindfulness of breathing and the metta bhavana practice. So they're two really simple classic practices that have been learned and practiced for thousands of years. So you'd get a chance to try them out for yourself and see how your experience is. And when I was learning to meditate, it helped to have kind of experienced practitioners around to explain and to show you how to do that, and also the opportunity to say how I found my experience and ask any questions that I wanted to. And that's why we're doing these live. So anybody that's with us live can do that in the chat box later, either just now saying hello, but later on after we've done some meditation practice, please let us know how it was for you if you want to, and if you've got any questions about meditation. Okay, so I'm just going to take a sip of my water, which I realize is not very much of, but never mind. So we all come to meditation for different reasons. And I was thinking about that. I was about 17 years ago, I first started to learn to meditate. And I felt really kind of stressed at that time, kind of distressed in my mind about all the different things that were going on in my life. And I guess that's a common, human experience in amongst all the reasons that people come to learn to meditate. And the Buddha taught us that these kind of mental sufferings that we have, stress and those kind of things, are caused by three tendencies, if you like, three human tendencies. So the tendency to either, to want more of what we enjoy, what we like, and then when we don't get that, we're disappointed and unhappy, and that we build that up in our minds, and that causes us stress. Or that there's something that feels like it's a bit of a too muchness and we don't like it and we want to push that away, but it keeps coming back, and So that causes a bit of discomfort as well. And then the third thing that he taught us about was that we don't really understand all of the things that make up our experience and make up the experience of the world, make up our experience of ourselves, our experience of other people. So we've just got this human tendency to think it's all about me. So meditating can help kind of us be more aware of what's happening from moment to moment, aware of those kind of tendencies of wanting or not really understanding what's going on, and just kind of slow all that down. So that's a really great way to, I think that's a really good reason to meditate. And you might have lots of other reasons for meditation. So the Tuesday meditation teaches us to mindfulness of breathing teaches us what it says. So it's a mindfulness meditation, and we use the breath to as the content of that mindfulness practice, and that teaches us how to be more present in our lives, moment to moment. So to see what's going on moment to moment within us, and all the different thoughts and things that arise within that experience. And then the metta bhavana practice that we're going to do today is a kindness practice. So that helps us to become more open to appreciation, to kind of like open our hearts. So if you think of like the mindfulness being like more open to the whole of our experience, the metta bhavana, the loving kindness practice, is about bringing awareness to our hearts and opening our hearts within that. So kind of befriending ourselves as well as befriending into the world as well. So those two practices are, if you like, I've written down kind of our two wings to freedom, a bit of a metaphor that I've heard from other people as well. So the Buddha said if we can hold these, if we can observe these tendencies to grasp onto wanting the things that we like, and to be aware of like the pushing away, and be patient with the things that we don't like, just be a bit more aware of the whole of the content of how our lives are conditioned with lots of different elements in. It's not just about us. If we can loosen all those and be soft around all of that and let that kind of die away, then that's our kind of way to freedom. It's our way to be free, to wake up into our lives and be more free. Okay. I'll just say a little bit briefly about our hour together, maybe just under an hour now, but I'm going to say just a tiny little bit about posture for the benefit of the people that are watching and have not done any kind of meditation before. And then I'll lead us in a very short 5-minute body awareness practice just to get into that posture and to get us into our bodies, to arrive and to settle. And it helps me to settle as well, actually. So that's another good reason for doing it. Because to have an arrived and settled person leading the rest of the meditation is also good. So then I'll say a little bit more about the practice that we're going to do today. So a little bit more about the metta practice and a little bit more about the 5 stages. And then I'll lead you through the whole of that. So if you've not done it before, or if you've just done it a few times, then I'll be with you the whole practice. There are other videos on the channel that you can be with as well later on that might have less talking, less input. So kind of explore around the videos as well. So then that practice will be around about 25 minutes, and then we'll leave a bit of time for questions or feedback in the chat box, and then maybe just say a little bit more about the Glasgow Buddhist Centre before we close. So I'm just going to get back into a meditation posture, which is always helpful to lead a meditation. So if you can make yourselves as comfortable as you can just now as you are, I'll just put my glasses back on, a bit more further away from the screen. Yep, I can see you. I can see me. So, yeah. So just some top tips for today on posture. And really, when I say posture, we're looking for we're looking for getting into a position that we can maintain really without very little effort. Something relatively comfortable without any pain. There shouldn't be any pain, that we can sit alert for the duration of the meditation. And today we're going to do around about 5 minutes and then a 25-minute sit. Down popped up a little link there to a print off sheet that you could use as well as watching the videos. So some basics for today. And what I would like to say, first of all, there's no one posture fits all. I know the Buddha looks beautiful in his double lotus, but I don't know about you, but if you've, my body will not get into that position. And unless you're an experienced yoga practitioner or you're intending to be, then you're probably not going to manage to sit like that. So, make yourself comfortable today. Some top tips would be, if you're going to be lying down on the floor, maybe not do it on a bed, because the danger is you'll fall asleep. So use a floor with some, the floor with some padding. If you're going to be seated, whether it's I'm on a stool today, if you're sitting on your knees or sitting on the floor on the chair, then just have a bit of padding, like under your feet, under your knees, and try and make sure that your knees are lower than your hips. And again, have a look at the videos to see what I'm talking about there as well. So it's not an endurance sport. We're just looking for a very comfortable position, and build up your time when you're practicing, So a 20-minute practice is quite a long, 20-25 minutes, quite a long practice for somebody that's not meditated before. So be patient. And if you're at home and it's new to you, just, you need to move about. If you start off sitting and then you want to lie down, that's absolutely fine. And if you've got any back pain at all, I would probably recommend initially at first, lying down is probably a good posture for you with your knees raised. Okay. Something to do with your hands is always good. I was just about to tuck mine in a blanket that I've got wrapped around me. But if you're sitting on a chair, a cushion is a good thing to have, to put your hands on. And also a cushion can be helpful to have to support the spine as well. Okay. So if you just get into a relatively comfortable position, and I'm going to lead us in a body awareness. Now, I'm going to ring a bell at the start, and I'll ring a bell at the end, and I'll try and make it as audible but as gentle as I can, and just kind of notice what you notice about the bell in the experience as well. So just closing our eyes. Just closing our eyes. Maybe just taking 1 or 2 deeper breaths and just letting them all the way out. And then just coming to our points of contact with wherever we are. Our points of contact with the floor, the cushion, or the seat. And just noticing our experience there. And just saying hello to that. Just noticing where in space our feet are. Perhaps the sole of the foot on the floor. an awareness of the shape that that foot's making. And just noticing wherever we are, whatever else we notice about that experience of the foot. Perhaps the texture of any clothing or floor, awareness of temperature, perhaps tingling. There's often a lot of energy there in the feet and the hands, nerve ending. And just working our way from our feet towards the top of the head in our awareness, and just saying hello to some of those different parts of our body in an appreciative way. Just noticing the ankle bones, the calves, if there's any movement or aches around the calves, the knees, just kind of noticing those. And if nothing particularly jumps out in our awareness, nothing grabbing our attention, that's okay too. Moving up the body to the bigger muscles, the thighs and the buttocks. We'll probably have contact with something in the buttocks. If we're sitting on something that's firm, we might notice the sitting bone, 2 bones in the buttocks that we can rest on. And just allowing this lower part of our body to be really heavy, to just let go of as much as can be let go of in the bottom half of that body. I like to imagine it as a big, heavy sack of wet sand just sinking itself down into a settled position. And if we're seated, it's aware the spine rising up out of the pelvic bowl. And if we're lying down, just awareness of the hollow of the back, perhaps awareness of the shoulder blades, contact with the floor. And our arms, wherever they are. As if we're seated, rolling the shoulders back and letting the shoulder blades slide just a little bit further down the spine. Not in an effortful way, just noticing that they have a capacity to go a little bit further if they want to. And just noticing the hands and the arms, wherever they are, the floor, cushion, or your legs. And bringing your awareness to your face, to the throat, allowing the throat to soften, the jaw to soften. It's just parting the lips gently, softening the eyes. And just noticing that we're here in a nice breathing body. Arriving here together, and just bring this short practice to a close. Just gently transitioning from that, opening your eyes if you want to, or keeping them closed and staying the posture if it feels comfortable to you. And I'll just say a little bit more about the next practice that we're going to do before I lead you in that. So today's Thursday practice is the metta bhavana, a loving kindness practice. So metta is a Pali word, and it's often translated as loving kindness, sometimes friendliness, sometimes benevolence. And bhavana is cultivation or development. So when we say metta bhavana practice, we're developing a practice of loving kindness. And it's a kind of, we're moving into the idea of moving into an attitude of loving kindness, of benevolence, and we're doing that on purpose. So it's an on-purpose cultivation. So there's an intention there to cultivate on purpose a positive emotion. And if I could, if I could bottle that, I probably would do. But instead, we need to experience it for ourselves and cultivate it for ourselves. That's why it's called a practice, and that's why it's called a cultivation practice. So, what we practice is what we become. So that's kind of a useful thing to think about as well. So if we practice becoming kind, and we keep doing that over and over, we continue that practice, then the tendency to those warmer aspects of ourselves come out. And sometimes you might say to me, like, "Oh, Jeanette, I feel kind, I do kind things," but sometimes that isn't always the case. And sometimes our speech and our actions, and sometimes our thoughts don't come from that place. And also by practicing this practice, we can observe that our moods change, and we're thinking and acting in different ways at different times. So this is also a great opportunity within this practice. Just observe that our experiences are different, observe different kind of aspects of ourselves. I was just rereading actually a translation of where this teaching comes from. So the Metta Sutta, and it uses a couple of phrases in this translation of "May all beings be happy and secure, and may they be inwardly happy." So I was kind of just enjoying that particular translation, and also aware that what I was saying there was we might not be necessarily feeling that way, or feeling that we want to wish that for ourselves, or wishing that for other people all of the time, or even at this time, right in this moment now, and that's okay too. So it's bringing awareness to that I'm not feeling that particular way right now, and also have that willingness to practice anyway, to explore what it feels like to practice that anyway when we're not feeling like it, as well as when we do feel like it. Okay, so not judging, not over judging that human experience as well. So it's practiced in 5 stages. Um, So the 5 stages are that we bring ourselves into the experience, and I'll talk you through that as we do the practice. We bring ourselves into that and well wishing for ourselves. And then we do that for around about 5 minutes and let that fade. And then we bring to mind a good friend. So a relatively simple relationship, somebody that we enjoy spending time with. And we bring well wishing to that relationship, to that friend. May they be happy and well. And that's often somebody that we want to spend. I'd like more of that, and when I don't get it, I'm not so happy about it. Then we let that fade and bring in somebody that we don't know very well, so we don't have any strong preferences for our experience with them, or we might not know them very well at all, and that can be lots and lots of the population, most of the population, in fact. And then we let that fade and bring in somebody that we find difficult. So not that they're a difficult person, we're not solidifying that person into they're difficult, but we find them difficult. So not too difficult, not somebody who's your sworn enemy, but somebody that pushes your buttons. And we bring all those different people to mind, so ourselves, the friend, somebody that we don't know, and the person we find difficult. We bring those all together within that well wishing, and then we try and open that out to more and more and more people. So I'm not going to say any more about that. We're gonna practice. So getting back into our posture, and just revisiting what we started earlier. So just revisiting experience, first of all, of being in our body and just saying hello to whatever is in our experience right now. So whatever mood we find there, whatever attitude, whatever weather we find in our experience, happy, grumpy, feeling awake, feeling sleepy, feeling a bit agitated, feeling a bit unsure, just whatever is in our experience, just saying hello to that, first of all. And whatever that is, that's okay. Welcoming that part of us in, however we are. That's just our experience of how we are right now. And it's that we're going to practice with whoever we are right now. And perhaps in our awareness of ourselves, just bringing our attention to the heart area. Not looking for anything in particular. Might be some sense of where that is in the body. The heart comes into our language all the time. My heart opened, my heart closed, my heart went out to them. I felt heart sorry. So the heart is a very important part of us. the body, the mind, the heart. Just bringing a little attention to the heart, and perhaps even putting your hand in that heart area. And however we experience ourselves today, perhaps using that traditional phrase, may I be happy and secure. May I be inwardly happy. And just seeing how you respond to that phrase. Just like popping a pebble into a pool and noticing how it ripples into our being. And there might be nothing there, and that's okay too. There might be no response. And we just plop it in again. It doesn't have to be over and over like a mantra. Just now and again, silently to ourselves. May I be happy and secure. May I be inwardly happy. And sometimes that feels difficult to do for ourselves. And if it is, just noticing that and not being a little bit annoyed or anything like that, just bringing some kindness to that experience of difficulty. And if you're in your practice of bringing metta, kindness for yourself feels difficult, just perhaps even imagining that this is a practice that's done by Buddhists all over the globe, everywhere. And they're also wishing kindness to us, kindness to me, kindness to you, and perhaps just being open to receiving that. Knowing that I'm wishing myself to be happy and secure and internally happy, and I'm wishing it for you too. Be open to that. How does that feel in this moment? And then I'm just going to ring the bell to mark the next stage. And if you didn't feel ready to move on, just noticing that too. So we allow our experience of us wishing for ourselves, just fade a little into the background. It's still there, but not at the front. And we bring to mind the good friend. Picture that friend strongly in our imagination. Imagining walking down the street and bumping into them. Our surprise and appreciation for seeing them. That heart-opening moment. And perhaps using their name or how they come across, just knowing that they're there in our imagination. They're wishing our friend to be happy and secure, internally happy. Just propping that pebble into the pool of our experience in the meditation. May my friend be internally happy and secure. And just experiencing the noticing of any response to that. And noticing the tendency of the mind to get distracted by some other thought. That's okay, that's normal, that's what the mind does, even in experienced practitioners. So just coming back and picturing your friend and your experience. May they be happy, internally happy, and secure in their experience. Perhaps we're enjoying this, or perhaps we're not. Just noticing. As we move to the next stage, we let our good friend fade a little bit into the background. We bring to mind somebody that we don't know very well at all, somebody we know strong feelings for, so we don't strongly like them, we don't strongly dislike them either. Someone in a shop or someone we see regularly on a train or bus, perhaps a distant relative. Remember, somebody we don't have strong connection with. So picturing them in our imagination, even if it's not a strong sense of them. We bring that intention to wish them well. Perhaps again, putting the hand on the heart. It feels helpful. May this person that I don't know well be happy and secure. That human desire in us all, may it be so for them. May they be happy and secure. May May they be internally happy. May that be their experience. And wishing that for them. Just popping that like a little stone into the pool of your experience, like a silent prayer, goodwill, good wishes, kindness, to someone that's a bit more of a stranger, maybe somebody that we just are oblivious to or ignore sometimes. We're not aware of their lives, but we wish them well anyway. We do not wish them harm. We hope they're happy, internally happy and secure. And sometimes this part again is a difficult part of the practice. Sensation of the person, our experience of them isn't so strong. We might have to make a little more effort on our imagination, or the mind wanders. And that is okay too. Not being a little bit annoyed with ourselves if the mind wanders. It's just what the mind does. But gently and firmly, we just bring the mind back to the heart, to the feelings of well-wishing. Just like bringing a puppy back to sit down and pay attention. So very kindly and gently we bring the mind back. Then we move to the fourth stage. And in this fourth stage, let that person fade into the background and bring to mind somebody that we find a little bit more difficult, somebody that challenges us a little bit more. We find they press our buttons. They don't agree with us, maybe. We don't agree with them. But try and make this somebody that in your direct experience, so somebody that is in your life. And just noticing what your response is in your experience to bringing that person to mind. Sometimes there might be a tightening, feeling of closing to them. So we plop in to the pool of our experience the same wishes for this person. May this person be happy and secure. May they be internally happy. It's probably something that they wish for themselves, that they wish for their friends and family, just as we do. Just as our moods change, their moods change. But we tend to pick up on the negative for this person. We don't notice any good qualities. That's what the mind does. So, this part of the practice is just bringing that person to mind that we find difficult and practicing that intention of offering kindly thoughts and intentions. May they be happy. May they be secure. May they be inwardly happy. And just noticing the response to that. Perhaps it feels easier than we thought. Perhaps it feels more difficult. If it feels too challenging, if somebody that just feels too much, coming back, kindness to ourselves, holding ourselves within that experience. Perhaps again, putting your hand on your heart. And opening again to this more challenging part of the practice. May this person I find difficult feel inwardly happy and secure in their life, in their experience. I would like to offer that to them. I hope may it be so for them. We move to the fifth stage, which is the equalizing stage. So we bring all those people back in. So beside that difficult person, we bring in the neutral person we don't know well. We bring our good friend. We bring ourselves into that aware experience in our imaginations. And we explore how it feels to give that well wishing to all of those people equally. May all of these beings be happy and secure. May all of these beings be inwardly happy. Sometimes it can help to imagine warmth, a bit like the sun shining equally on all of us. Using that to help the equalizing feeling, warmth or light, sometimes color. And then just extending that out for more people, to include more people in our experience, that well-wishing for more people in our experience. So perhaps more friends, or family, or neighbours, out into the wider world. People that are frail, people that are well, not missing anyone out. The sutra asks us to imagine people that are long, large, middling, short, all different kinds of people, seen or unseen, whether they dwell far away or near, whether they're in the world already or yet to be. May all beings be inwardly happy, happy and secure. And again, if the mind's wandered, just noticing that, not being irritated, not a little bit annoyed with the mind. When we notice we're back in our meditation, we're aware, happy for that. It's coming back to the experience of the heart area and our well-wishing. And then just for a moment, just making no effort whatsoever. Just allowing ourselves to dwell in our bodies, with whatever's there. I'll bring the practice to the close by ringing the bell. Just gently transitioning from the state of meditation to being more wakeful. So we have a few minutes to take any questions or feedback in the chat box after the meditation. If you want to join in that, include yourself. If that was your first meditation, well done. And I hope it was a helpful experience, and encourage you to keep practicing, whether it's joining in live again with us or whether it's rewatching some of the videos. Lots of different ones, different people, different voices. I'm doing that as well. So I'm just going to make a gentle transition across to the... Oh, my knees are not liking that gentle transition just now. Back across so that I can see the chat box. Darnie saying thank you. You're welcome. You're very welcome. I see there's just a few of us watching today. And if anybody wants to pop in any questions or any feedback, please feel free to do so. I see that Gavin's there. Hello, Gavin. That's a familiar name. Nice to see you. And what Gavin's saying, many thanks. Very helpful. It sounds as though you found a benefit from doing it today, Gavin. So I'll just keep talking for maybe a moment or two, just to allow any other questions that might pop up. And if there isn't any, we can kind of close. I'll maybe just say a little bit more about the Glasgow Buddhist Centre. And again, just encourage, if you're watching this and you've not meditated before, again, I would encourage you to have a look at those videos about posture, so that you find a comfortable way of either sitting or lying down that can maintain a practice. And if you can manage around about 20 minutes, great. If you can only manage 10 minutes, and do that on a regular basis, you can build up to that too as well. So maybe no extra questions today, or no extra feedback today. So maybe I'll just say a little bit more about the Buddhist Center. So we are looking at ways to open the center now after lockdown. So hoping to do that at some point in the distance and space and hygiene rules and things that we need to put in place for that. And then be very welcome to come along when we do that on Socky Hall Street, just opposite the dental hospital. At the Buddhist Center, we're trying to create something different, and create something different with each other and in the world. So we operate maybe in a different way from how things normally operate. And kind of, if you like, our mantra is take what you need and give what you can. So we're offering all of these online things absolutely for free, as we do all our classes when you come along live to the center. And we don't charge for any of those things. We operate on a donation basis, and we're very grateful for any people that are watching just now and you already donate to us. Thank you very much. We appreciate, and we spend every single penny that we get very wisely indeed. I can assure you, very well aware that every single penny is donated by kind and wonderful people. And if you're not able to do that at the moment, that's fine too. What you can do that will also help us is just to spread the word, to say that you may be doing this and it's helpful, or to anybody that you come across that you think it would also help, to encourage them to join in, to come along, maybe to live streams or to look at some of the videos, or just generally kind of speak kindly of us in the world, and say that what you found in us was something a little bit different that was possibly helpful to life as well, if that indeed is the case. So, but if you can join in that culture and give what you can, if you're in a position to give, Kuladani's put up a little link there for the Glasgow Buddhist Centre website. You find the link there if anybody wants to donate. You can do that in one-off ways, or you can do it in kind of regular donations. Regular donations really help us because they can help us to plan, but we, big or small, whatever you can offer us is equally gratefully received. So I'm going to say goodbye for now, and I'm back next week, maybe on Tuesday, to do the mindfulness of breathing. So if you're joining in again, I'll see you then. But again, watch any of the videos again, and I'll see you another time. So bye for now. Keep meditating.